the hidden power of vulnerability in love. We build our walls brick by painstaking brick, don't we? From the first scraped knee on the playground when we were told to brush it off, to the first heartbreak that felt like a fatal blow, we learned to fortify. We learned that to be stoic is to be strong, to be guarded is to be safe. We construct these emotional fortresses around our hearts, complete with moats of sarcasm and ramparts of feigned indifference. And from within these self-imposed castles, we peer out, wondering why true soul-deep connection feels so impossibly far away. We crave intimacy, yet we armor ourselves against the very thing that makes it possible, vulnerability. What if I told you that the greatest strength you could ever possess in the pursuit of love lies not in the height of your walls, but in the courage to dismantle them brick by brick? What if the secret to a love that is not just passionate, but profoundly healing and enduring, is hidden in the very places you've been taught to hide? This isn't a call to reckless abandon, to spill your deepest secrets to every stranger you meet. It is, however, an invitation to explore the quiet, earth-shattering power of being truly seen, of allowing your authentic, imperfect self to be loved. For generations, we've been fed a narrative that equates vulnerability with weakness. To be vulnerable is to be susceptible to attack, to be open to pain. And in a world that can often be harsh, this fear isn't entirely unfounded. We've all been there. The moment of sharing a secret hope only to be met with a lukewarm response. The confession of a deep-seated fear only to have it used against you later. These moments are the mortar that solidifies our walls, reinforcing the belief that it's better to be alone and protected than to risk the potential for hurt. But here's the paradox. In our quest to avoid the pain of connection, we sentence ourselves to a different, more insidious kind of suffering. The ache of loneliness, the hollow echo of a life lived at arm's length from others. We create relationships that are safe but sterile. We have conversations that skim the surface, never daring to plunge into the depths of who we are. We present a curated version of ourselves, a highlight reel of our successes and our strengths, and we wonder why we feel so unseen, so fundamentally misunderstood. The truth is, you can't selectively numb emotion. As researcher and author Brené Brown so brilliantly illuminates, when we numb the dark, we numb the light. When we build walls to keep out the pain, we inadvertently block out the joy, the connection, the love that we so desperately crave. It's a package deal. To experience the heart-swelling, life-affirming beauty of true intimacy, we must be willing to risk the sting of potential rejection. Think about the most meaningful relationships in your life. The friend you can call in the middle of the night, your voice thick with tears, and know you won't be judged. The partner to whom you can confess your most embarrassing moments, your most profound insecurities, and see not a flicker of contempt, but a deepening of affection in their eyes. These are the connections that are forged in the fires of vulnerability. They are the relationships that have moved beyond the superficial and into the sacred space of unconditional acceptance. If you're finding this content helpful and it's resonating with you, I'd like to ask for a small favor. Please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to continue creating content like this. And don't forget to share this with someone who might need to hear it and leave your thoughts in the comments below. So, how do we begin this journey of dismantling our fortresses? It starts with a conscious choice, a choice to be brave, not fearless. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's the quiet whisper in the face of a racing heart that says, "This is scary, but it's worth it." It starts with small, manageable acts of disclosure. You don't have to lay your entire soul bare on the first date. In fact, that can be counterproductive, a form of floodlighting that can overwhelm the other person. True vulnerability is a dance, a gradual unfolding. It's sharing a slightly more personal story than you normally would. It's admitting you don't have all the answers. It's saying, "I'm not sure how to do this, but I'm willing to try." It's the courage to express your needs. So many of us, particularly women, have been socialized to be the nurturers, the givers, the ones who anticipate and meet the needs of others, often at the expense of our own. To be vulnerable is to say, "This is what I need from you. I need your support. I need your understanding. I need you to just listen right now." This isn't being demanding, it's being honest. It's giving your partner a roadmap to your heart, a guide on how to love you better. When you refuse to articulate your needs, you are setting your partner up to fail and yourself up for a slow, simmering resentment. And what about the fear of rejection? It's real and it's powerful. But here's a therapeutic reframe. Rejection is not always a reflection of your worth. Sometimes it's a reflection of the other person's capacity. Someone who cannot meet you in your vulnerability, who shies away from your authentic self, is not your person. Their inability to handle your truth is about their own limitations, their own fears, their own walls. In this light, rejection becomes a form of protection, a redirection. It's the universe's way of saying, "Not here, not with them." It clears the path for someone who has done the work, who has the courage to meet you in that sacred space of openness. Let's talk about what this looks like in the messy, beautiful reality of a long-term partnership. It's the apology that comes without a "but it's not." "I'm sorry I yelled, but you were pushing my buttons." It's, "I'm sorry I yelled. That was my frustration, and it wasn't fair to you." It's the admission of, "I'm scared. Scared of failing, of not being enough, of the future." It's laying down the weapons of blame and defensiveness and choosing to see your partner not as an adversary, but as a fellow traveler on this often bumpy road of life. The renowned relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman can predict with astounding accuracy which couples will divorce based on how they handle conflict. And a key factor is the presence of what he calls repair attempts. These are moments when one partner reaches out to de-escalate the tension, to reconnect, to be vulnerable. It can be a touch, a joke, a simple, "Hey, we're a team, right?" These are acts of vulnerability that say, "Our connection is more important than my pride." And here's where the magic truly happens. When you offer your vulnerability to your partner, you give them a profound gift, the permission to be vulnerable in return. You create a space of psychological safety, a sanctuary where they too can lay down their armor. This is where true intimacy is born. It's in the shared confessions whispered in the dark, the tears that are met with a gentle hand, the laughter that comes from a place of deep, unadulterated acceptance. You begin to see the whole person, not just the polished facade they present to the world. You fall in love with their quirks, their imperfections, their beautiful, messy humanity. This journey is not without its discomfort. Leaning into vulnerability will feel at times like standing on the edge of a cliff. Your every instinct will scream at you to retreat to the safety of your fortress. But I implore you to breathe through the discomfort, to recognize that this feeling of exposure is not a sign that you are doing something wrong, but a sign that you are finally, truly living. You are showing up for your own life, for your own heart. Think of it as emotional strength training. The first time you go to the gym, you are sore, you are weak. You question why you ever thought this was a good idea. But you go back, and with each subsequent visit, you get a little stronger. The weights that once felt impossibly heavy become manageable. It's the same with vulnerability. Each time you take a small risk and are met with acceptance and love, you build your capacity for connection. You begin to trust yourself, to trust your ability to navigate the complexities of human relationships. And what is the ultimate reward for this courageous work? A love that is not just a fleeting romance, but a deep and abiding partnership. A love that is a safe harbor in the storms of life. A love that sees you, all of you, and says, "You are enough. You are worthy. You are home." This is the hidden power of vulnerability in love. It is the key that unlocks the door to a connection so profound, it has the power to heal old wounds and transform your understanding of what it means to love and be loved. It is the quiet revolution of the heart, the brave and beautiful act of choosing connection over self-protection. So, take a look at the walls you've built. Acknowledge the fears that laid the foundation, and then, when you're ready, gently, lovingly, begin to take them down. One brick at a time. The view from the other side is more breathtaking than you can possibly imagine.